Oh, wait. You're gonna skip this video? Oh, that's very bad idea. So, if you skip this video, then you will probably miss the one of the greatest lessons that I learned in my 20s by the book written by Robert.T Kiyosaki, which is the best finance book of all time, and it is the best selling book and the number one book because here we can get the greatest lesson. And in this video, I will explain about how money works, which I learned from the Rich Dad Poor Dad, written by the Robert.T Kiyosaki, and there are the most greatest lesson which can change the way you think about money and how money works. And in this book, Robert Kiyosaki, author of this book, says how money works and how can rich becomes richer and pays no taxes legally. But if we read this book, then we can change our way of thinking. And if we have money, then how can it will work for us? These things are taught by author in this book. So here I am to present you the some of the greatest lessons that I learned in my 20s by this book. So the number one is, now the lessons that I learned from this book is, don't say I can't afford it. Say how can I afford it. If you say that don't, I can't afford it, then you will complete the statement by the full stop. But if you say how can I afford it, then there are the questions. So you can probably find the answer of it, and you will able to find answer. Then there is the way you can afford it. But if you say that I can't afford it, then in your lifetime you couldn't afford it because you are unable to find the answer. Then how can you afford it? So always tries to questions about anything, because to afford you should ask questions. how why, this type of questions should be arrived to get that uh, the way you can afford it. But if you complete it, then in your mind, the thinking is over. But if question arrive, then your mind start to think about it, and it will probably find the answer and you can afford it. So the number one lesson is that don't say I can't afford it. Say how can I afford it. Number one lessons, you got it. Okay, then lesson number two is, fear and desire is the biggest trap to human. What I said, fear and desire is the biggest trap to human. What is the fear? Fear of not having money. All the people have the fear of not having money. What if I have not money in my future? And this type of fear causes in a human trap. And the desire of fulfilling this type of needs, and I can buy car, bikes, this type of desire comes in our human mind, and human wants to fulfill this desire with a certain amount of money. And they tries to overcome fear of not having money and fulfill their desire by working as a rat, always 24/7, doing a job for a certain amount of money, and they involve in a rat race. And that is the biggest trap to human. If you do not have fear and desire about the money, then you can make money. The number three lesson that I learned from the book is, an intelligent person hires the people who are more intelligent than himself. What does it mean then? Any intelligent person knows the very well, but if he hires the more intelligent person, then he can learn more. And in finance, we get the punchline that learn more and earn more. If you learn more, then you can more earn more. But if you have the limited ideas and limited knowledge, then you can't grow more. Your grow is also limited. So if an intelligent person hires the more intelligent person, then he can learn more. But if he hires the people who are less intelligent than him, then he can't learn more, and he will be unable to make more money. And the number four lesson that I learned from the book is, people who avoid failures also avoid success. Because failure is the part of the success, then if you couldn't be part of the success, then how can you get the success? I see all the people are afraid of failure, and they tries to overcome. They are unable to overcome failure, and they always fear about failure. So failure teaches us the biggest lessons to be successful. If we can't get that lesson, then how can we be successful? That's the biggest questions. If failure does not come, then success also does not come. It is the sure and it is the natural process. So people should not avoid failures to get success. People want to be successful but without failures. Are there any successful people who are successful without failures? No. Elon Musk also failed to his career, but failure taught him the greatest lesson, and he is the richest person in the earth. The number five lesson that I learned from that book is painful. The most painful part is deciding to do. Yes, you are that. The painful part is deciding to do. If you can't decide anything to do, then you can't do alone. So if you decide the thing, then only you can do it easily. But if you can't decide, deciding is hard, you can't decide, then you can't do. Deciding is the part of doing. It makes the doing easy. But if you can't decide, then and it is very hard, I can't decide, then you can't do it alone. You will always think about it but can't do. So examples, let's say I decided to study for an hour in my study table. Then only I can study. But if I can't decide, then how can I study for an hour? Then I will think about it and I can't do it alone. So these are the biggest lesson that I learned from that book. So you can also check it out to learn that book. I will give the descriptions of that link in my description. So